Welcome back, guys, to episode 4 of Couch Conversations. This week we are on part 2 of Shermara's story. So I'll catch you on the other side. Moving on then, tell us a little bit about this peace treaty that you've signed. I was blown away when I read about it, but people won't know what that is. So tell us a little bit about that signing.
Okay, so in December, I did an exercise called a vision board. Okay. And on that vision board, I put travel. You said, I do believe that, my ministry is around the world. I love different cultures and to connect. And about 2 weeks later, I get a call. Shermara, we want you to go to New York, all expenses paid, flight paid, to an international clergy conference. I was like, what? So I was like, okay then. So I was just like, okay, God, I prayed for this. I put it on my vision board. You said to write the vision, make it plain. Here it is. I'm going. And
Amen.
I went to the international conference, and there was a moment on the Saturday that they said, we want all leaders from across the world to sign this peace treaty to say we will unite across the world in a time of political division, in a time where societies are, some of them are going through turmoil, in a time where there is a divisive nature to really split communities and put them up against each other, in a time where a lack of resources is being championed, when that's just simply not the case. A lack of resource happens when there's a lack of creativity, when there's a lack of productivity. If every human being taps into their creativity, tapped into what they're called to do, there won't be lack. There is enough for everybody to eat. So I was like, okay, God, you've sent me all the way to New York to sign this peace treaty. I commit wherever I go to championing the cause of peace. And I went under the capacity of the World Peace Federation and Alliance. So,
Wow.
It was an amazing encounter to, go up on that stage and put my name to that international plaque that is now in New York, in Madison Square Gardens. And I said, you know what, God? I commit to being peaceful.
That is amazing. That is so amazing. And God is the Prince of Peace,
Yes,
so to be able to sign that treaty is also a spiritual act, of being a peacemaker. We're called to be peacemakers as Christians, aren't we? So that is so amazing. That is, honestly, when I read that on Instagram, I was like, what? Like that's that is, and you've been going into the Houses of Parliament, you've been doing a lot of work for the government. And I think it's just fantastic that you're so young and you're out there. You're really going for it. You're really aiming for all the things that God has put in you. Your purpose, your vision, is everything driven by God, and that's just really, really amazing. So, what is next? Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to talk about things that you're planning, because that's we kind of keep that hidden until God reveals it. Yes. But what are you doing at the minute that is changing lives? Because I know you started up a boot camp. So tell us a little bit about the boot camp.
Yes, so I'm really excited about this venture that I've been able to do with an amazing movement called Imperia Global. So basically, I'm a 6 a.m. boot camp founder, where I connect with leaders and entrepreneurs across the world. And we basically every single morning work on our mindset, especially with this pandemic that is happening. It's so important that we keep a level mind. Our environment around us is it's chaotic, let's be honest.
It is.
But the most powerful engine on this earth is the human mind. Our capacity to think, to create thoughts into actions, into ideas, into impact is absolutely phenomenal. I look at the technological revolution that we're going into. That first came from the mind. Every robot, every computer that's been made, that was created from the mind. So we've been really feeding our mind. I say to them, we are giving our mind milk and honey. We are feeding our minds. And, as I talk to this group of leaders and entrepreneurs, and even, friends, family, people on Instagram, fellow influencers, different people, we are so easy and quick to say negative things about ourselves.
Yeah.
If we said to other people some of the negative things that we've said to ourselves, we'd probably be in jail for harassment.
Do you know what? That is absolutely so true. So true. The verse that God's been giving to me this week, I think it's Philippians. I can't remember the exact verse, but it's about thinking good and noble thoughts. And it's been a challenge for me, this week. I've actually been writing down all my negative thoughts I've been having. And I ripped up the piece of paper and I put it in the bin, because if I spoke to my friends the way I speak to myself, boy, I would be having words.
No friends. You have no friends.
Yeah, exactly. So you're absolutely right. Like, mindset for Christ, the mind of Christ is so important. It's so important to think the way that He thinks. It's important to align ourselves with God, and what He has for us, for sure.
Yes.
So that sounds absolutely amazing. And how many leaders is this worldwide that you're working with?
So it's a small group, because I want to work with people who, are motivated, have goals, are hungry. So we've had up to 20 people from Canada, America, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Europe. Yes, it's been a really good mix of people. And it's just been amazing to watch it to grow, because we've only been going for 3 weeks.
That's amazing.
And to do what it's doing, it's just really God. And it's helping me as well. It's helping me to be disciplined, because I've had some bereavements over this period. And, this has really been helping me to get through that pain. So, it's been a blessing. I really thank God that He's allowing us to work on our minds.
Absolutely. And how have you been coping with COVID? How has your faith played a part in how you're working through the quarantine? Because it's a tough time, isn't it? It's really, we've been quarantined for about 3 weeks now, and I've been working from home for 4 weeks. And I'm not sure how long you've been working at home from, but it's really important, isn't it, in this time, particularly to pray and to kind of really get closer to God. And it's hard, even as a Christian. It is hard sometimes. So tell me, is there any tips you want to give to people, in terms of your faith, and how's that impacted you over the quarantine period?
During this time, I've had to really, as I said, focus on my mind, and also being genuine and real with God. He just wants the real. He wants the truth. We're in a time where there's no time for fancy prayers. There's no time for impressive prayer journals.
No.
It's just a time just to be real, authentic, and genuine. So I'm just talking to God to say, okay, God, help us get through this. One thing that I've really been able to take comfort in, through business terminology, is the whole concept that God has given man dominion over the earth. I'm just going to pop my earring in. God has given man dominion over the earth to manage it well. And the way that I see it is that God is the freeholder of this earth, and we are the leaseholder. So we've been given dominion. We are made in His image. Like, we have resolve. We are able to come up with solutions to really come together in this time. One thing that has been really helpful is actually the church community, being able to click in to different church communities, even things like this, being able to talk to friends. Before this period, I was so ridiculously busy. And it's just made me realize your friends, your family, these are things that God has given us for free.
He has.
They're blessings to us. They're milk and honey to our lives. So really tapping into relationships, human relationships with others, has been a way that God's really been, supporting and upholding me and many others during this time.
That's amazing, Shermara. It really is. And I think, and we haven't had a chance to catch up properly for a little while. We've been talking about the mindset stuff together, I know. But it's really important, isn't it? It's to stay in community, to stay in fellowship. And to continue praying, because sometimes the best time to pray is when it's the hardest to pray. Especially when you feel like I can't do this anymore, and God's like, come on, like He's championing you on. And you're right about having friends who can support you through this process and this period. So it's really important to have that. So finally, before we go, and thank you for your time, first and foremost, I appreciate it. But I want to hear some music, and I'm sure our listeners want to hear some music as well. Our viewers want to, listen to some music. So give us, is there anything you can share with us today that we can take away from your beautiful voice?
I'm just going to sing the chorus of this song called His Eyes Are on the Sparrow. Amazing. And I'm going to sing this song because I just want everybody that's listening across the world to Ronnie's amazing platform, that his eyes are on you. He cares about everything. So yeah, I'll just sing just the chorus of that.
That's amazing. Go for it.
I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eyes is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me.
That was amazing. I literally had goosebumps. I was like, you are so blessed and so gifted. Oh my gosh, your voice is just like, I think that's the first acoustic or a cappella version I've heard of you sing. I've got Define Me on my phone. But sometimes it's so nice to just strip it all back and just listen to the raw. That was amazing.
Oh, so thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. No, bless you too. Honestly, thank you so much, my love. It was so good to speak to you. Take care of yourself, and we will catch up soon.
Amazing.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was all of Shermara's testimony. How amazing. Not only is she from a Jamaican background and grew up in a Christian home, but she also has signed a treaty which is now in New York. She's a musician. She's starting off and kickstarting so many different things and sowing her seeds. So until next time, I'll speak to you later. Keep shining your lights and keep shining bright.